Hello, I'm Jen Vickers from Crown House Technologies and I'm joined by Ron Purcell of Siemens. We're here today representing the Building Controls Industry Association, of which we are President and Vice President. So Ron, can you tell us, for anyone that doesn't know, what BCIA does?
Yeah, the BCIA is basically the home of everything building controls, building energy management systems and controls. So we welcome members from SIs, so system integrators, from manufacturers, consultants, architects, and more recently end users as well, so anyone who's interested in that whole ecosystem. We also do a number of things within our industry as well. So we publish guides and best practices. So from our members' collaboration, we find out what's happening in the marketplace, what the best practices are. We publish guidance on those. We're lobbying government quite a lot at the moment to try and raise the profile of the building controls. You know, it's a very unseen industry. You know, you walk into a building, nobody knows it's there, you're just comfortable, the lights come on and that sort of stuff. So we're trying to raise the profile of that and how it can help us towards net zero. The entry level to most systems is getting lower and lower and lower, and that's partly due to technology. And also that technology can work on your existing infrastructure within your building. So don't throw the baby out with the bathwater type thing. You don't have to change everything within your building. You know, you will still benefit from putting a layer of controls above what you have there.
So the mechanical plant that exists in buildings doesn't need to be replaced. You can put building controls in. It's a really exciting industry, isn't it, for people to join?
Yeah, I think it is. Yes.
And so do
Yeah.
I. But I'm really passionate to make sure that we need to increase visibility of this industry and knowledge of the industry for government, but also for people that may want to join it in the future and currently don't even know it exists.
Yes.
We obviously launched our apprenticeship, which is a level 4. That will really help, I hope, with the skills gap that we have in our industry.
How many people have you actually got going through that program? Because I forget it's a fast moving
there's about just under 300 people on programme or have completed the programme, and we expected about 50 apprentices in total. 50 have completed now, so it's a fantastic good news story and sort of secures the pipeline of future talent for our industry.
How can people get involved in the BCIA?
We are an association which has companies as members as opposed to individuals.
Okay.
So companies can join the BCIA and benefit from discounted training rates, but also having access to other benefits which we offer.
So we're obviously trying to get more talent into our industry, you know, and maybe young engineers and things like that. I mean, how are we going about trying to promote ourselves and attract that talent?
So we have our Young Engineers Network. We launched that in about 2021 and it's going from strength to strength. That's a forum where young engineers can get to know each other and network and learn from each other.
Where have we grown from 35 years ago, from 11 maybe founding companies? Where are we now?
We have over 200 members in the BCIA, so that's a really good number of people to be representing.
And how has things changed in those last 35 years? I know you haven't been around that long.
No.
But have you seen some of those milestones throughout the progression of the BCIA over the last 35 years?
I became involved with the BCIA about 8 years ago or 9 years ago, something like that. We had I remember our 100th company joining. Yep. So we have grown quite significantly in the last 8 years or so. We've put a lot of time and effort into launching an apprenticeship. So that obviously gives us a lot more ability to make more of an impact in the industry and I very much hope increases our membership.
Yeah, what strikes me most about the last 35 years is how the BCIA has been able to adapt and be relevant for its members and always deliver throughout that. We started from a group of manufacturers, a small group of manufacturers who may be visionary, if you want to say, that realised there was a need for that. We've then moved through, you know, the different memberships, so the market became dominated by SIs, system integrators, who take our manufacturers' controls, integrate those, and actually they're the people that deliver the job, and that is by far our majority of members are now those SIs. And now, more recently, we've brought in training schemes and apprenticeship schemes. We've been lobbying government as well, you know, so that has changed over the years. Did you want to talk about that where we're going in the future and that lobbying?
Yeah, absolutely. Of course, we launched our first white paper in the House of Lords in October last year. It's absolutely fantastic to have started to influence government policy. I want to make sure that we continue on that trajectory, and that this isn't our only white paper, it's the first of a number, I hope. And I very much hope that we're launching another in the House of Lords at some point in the future, but only when there's things to say, only when we have a different message or a development of the message. The other thing that is a priority is to make sure that we have good career pathways for people joining our industry and people that are already in the industry, to make sure that we have the skills that we need within the industry to deliver the projects that are coming up.
Yeah, and for me, I see a big area that we can grow into and do more in is that collaboration, but with different stakeholders within the whole project. So doing more work with consultants, you know, and giving the best practices from our industry and our perspective, feed that back into the consultants who are specifying our equipment, as well as architects, and to some degree building owners as well. You know, they don't know what is the capability and what these systems can do for them, so we need to go and get more information out to them. Absolutely,
and for all three of those areas that we've just talked about, we need to make sure that not only the industry but the association are visible. And I think visibility and people having a knowledge of the industry is absolutely vital.